everyone, and welcome once again to your Marriage Minute. My name is Dino Watt. I am your marriage mentor. I am also the author and CEO of The Business of Marriage. What I wanted to talk to you today is about your story. That's right, we all have stories that we create out of things that actually happen, and then we add stuff to it in our own mind. This comes right on the heels of a great mentoring session I had with a couple who they were going through some issues, transitioning from being working people to retired people, and through a series of happenstance, the husband ended up falling and dislocating his shoulder. And his wife created all these stories about that he meant to do it, that it was his way of getting out of doing something she wanted him to do. Now that's just a small example of how we all do it. We all create a story. Now the fact is, the husband fell, and that's it. He fell. All the other stuff is made up. So we do that all the times with our spouses. They do something, and that something actually happened, and we make this whole story up about either why they did it, what it means about you, what it means about them, what it means about your life, all those things. A great example is if you're going through financial difficulties at the time, you need to understand that there is a story made up in your head about finances that you have, about money that you have, for whatever reason. When you were a kid and your dad took $5 out of your wallet without telling you, and now all of a sudden you feel like that means that money never said that you can't trust even your parents with money. So therefore you have a story in your head about what actually happened, and it's usually just that. It's just a story. What you need to understand is that in your marriage there is actually things that happen, and they just happened. There's not a story that needs to be brought up around it. Excuse me, especially when it comes to what it has to deal with you, what it means about you, what it means about him or her, what it means about your kids. Those are just stories that you make up. So what I want you to do is learn to get over your story. As I mentioned before, one of my books I want to write someday is called Build a Bridge and Get Over It. Because really, is there anything you can do about what happened in the past? Absolutely not. Is there anything you can do about the future? No. You can only deal with what's happening right now, because the future isn't promised to us and the past can't be changed. If you have that machine and that ability, let me know. We'll make a lot of money together. But I don't think it's out there, and I don't think it ever will be out there, because the past is the past. Even just 2 minutes ago when I started this CD, we will never, this tape, we will never get that 2 minutes back, because it is in the past. So there's nothing you can do about it. Don't worry about changing it. You know, there's an old saying that says that people who live in the past are always more depressed. People who live in the future are always more anxious. So the only way you can live is in the now, the right now. So I would challenge you this week to make sure that you are doing your best to live in the now. Don't make up a story, and when you do make up a story, recognize it's just that. It's just a story. The cool thing about the story is you authored it. Therefore, you have the ability to change it, to do whatever you like with that story, to make it be whatever it is. It's your own truth. It's whatever you want it to be. You make up that. All right? So make sure you take the time this week to change your story and get over the old story that's been stopping you, that's keeping you stuck in this victim cycle. Okay? Especially in your marriage, you want to make sure that there are no stories there, because the stories are what create arguments. The stories are what creates division. The stories are what creates the destruction of your marriage. So make sure that the story that you create does only positive things for your marriage, does wonderful things for your marriage. Make sure that you are celebrating each other in that marriage through those stories. Great. I hope you're having a great time and having a lot of fun working on your own business of marriage.